Good morning, student. Welcome to the fifth lecture of unit number 2, that is read-only memories. So we know that memory is classified into two parts, that is volatile and non-volatile memory. In previous lecture, we learned about RAM, the different types of static RAM and dynamic RAM. So these memory chips were volatile memories and they lose their content when power is turned on. Or we can say that they can retain the information only until the power is turned on. But there are many applications which need memory devices to retain the content even the power is turned off. For example, the computer is turned on, the operating system must be loaded from the disk into the memory, and the processor needs to execute certain instructions which will load the operating system from the disk. So we need to store these instructions so that they will not be lost after the power is turned off. So these instructions store the instructions into a non-volatile memory. So the different types of non-volatile memory are ROM and flash memory. So why it is called as ROM, that is read-only memory? Because normal operations involves only reading of data. So this type of memory is called as read-only memory, that is non-volatile memory. Okay, that means they comes under the category of non-volatile memory. So in non-volatile memory, the read operation is same as we learn in volatile memory, but writing is different. So read is same, but writing is bit different. Separate writing process is needed to place information in this memory. Now let's see the read and write operation in ROM. So if we need to write a data into a ROM, then we can write two information, either logical 0 or logical 1. That means we can store logical 0 and logical 1 if we want to write a ROM. So if you look into this diagram here, it is very much similar to RAM cells that we learned in the previous lectures. So it has a word line and it has a bit line, and inside a cell you have a transistor and here one switch. Okay, so at this point P you have a switch. Then now if you want to write logical 0 to this cell, then that means there should be connection between this transistor and a ground. Okay, this is ground. So that means switch should be closed. So when this switch is closed, the data on the bit line that is connected to the ground. So basically, this cell will hold a value 0. And now if I need to write a value, then there should not be any connection between transistor and the ground. So that means this switch can act as an open switch and there is no connection between both the transistor and the ground. So what a voltage there is in the bit line? It is trapped as a charge in the transistor. So it is equivalent to storing logical 1 in the cell. Now do we read data from ROM? In order to read a data, first thing is that this word line should be activated. In the non-volatile memory also, to read or write a data, the first condition is that word line should be activated. So now if there is a connection between this transistor and ground, then obviously this bit line will read a value 0. And if there is no connection between transistor and the ground, then bit line will read value 1. Okay, if there is connection between transistor and ground, then it will read value 0. And if there is no connection between the transistor and ground, then it will read value 1. Okay, so remember, in read-only memory, you can read data so many times you want, but in order to write a data, that can be written only a single time. Okay, now the different types of non-volatile memories is ROM and flash memory. Okay, so ROM is again divided into programmable ROM, erasable programmable ROM, and electrically erasable programmable ROM, that is E square PROM. So first let's see what is PROM. So as I say that in a normal read-only memory cell, the data written once when it is manufactured. Okay, that means in ROM, data is written into a ROM when it is manufactured. So it is written only once. So, and that is done when it is manufactured. Now, what is a PROM? That is programmable ROM. Here, the data is loaded by the user. Here, data is loaded by the user in PROM. The user can enter the information. So that means when PROM is manufactured, it is manufactured as a blank memory. Okay. So as I told you, data is written into ROM only once when it is manufactured. Okay. But in the next line, it is said that the data to be loaded by user also. It means that when PROM is manufactured, it is manufactured as a blank memory. Okay. That means it's all the cells contains a value 0. So when it comes to the user can write the data as 1. In whenever needed, it can write the data 1. Okay, so here as I told you, you can write only two information, that is logical 0 and logical 1. Okay, so when PROM is manufactured, it is a blank memory. That means it contains only value 0. But when it comes to the user can also write the data to the PROM memory cells. That time user will store data in the form of logical 1. Okay, but user can also write only once and read as many times as he wants. So it can be written in a cell only once, and it can read as many times you want, but written only once. Then programmability is achieved by inserting a fuse at point P. Okay, programmability is achieved by inserting a fuse at point P. This P acts as a open switch. Okay, now look at this diagram. Here you have a transistor and the position P, at this position P, you have inserting a fuse. Okay, here programmability is achieved by inserting a fuse. That means at point P, you have inserting a fuse. So when fuse is inserted, here when fuse is inserted, that means transistor has two connections with the ground. Transistor has a connection with the ground. So obviously the cell is holding a value 0. So as I told you in the previous slide, when there is a connection between transistor and ground, that time it is going to read value 0. And when there is no connection between transistor and ground, that means that time we will read value 1. Okay. So now here when fuse is inserted, it means that the cell, there is connection between transistor and the ground. So obviously the cell is holding a value 0. So if you need to insert a value 1, then this fuse has to be burnt. So it acts as an open switch. Okay, so if you want to read a value 1, that time this fuse which is inserted at position P need to be burnt. So it acts as, that time it will act as an open switch. So there is no connection between the transistor and ground. And when there is no connection between the transistor and the ground, that time your cell will hold the value 1. Now, how you can burn this particular fuse? It is done by giving a high current pulse. Okay, this fuse is burned by using a high current pulse. So you see in a special equipment like PROM burner. So to burn that switch at position P, you have a special device that is PROM burner. So PROM burner is used to burn this fuse. That means this cell is holding a value because now that time there is a connection between transistor and a ground. Then what are the demerits of this particular cell? The demerit of the cell is that process of inserting the data is irreversible. So once you store a value 1, once you store a value 1 here, you cannot make this cell to store a value 0 to store a value 0. Okay, so that is the demerit, that is process of inserting data is irreversible, because in PROM you can write a data only once and you can read data number of times. Then now what are the merits? The merits are it provides flexibility, that is it is manufactured as a blank memory, but the user can insert a data in a PROM cell. That means user can insert a value 1 in a PROM cell. Okay, but that can be also inserted only once. That is the restriction of programmable read-only memory. Now another merit is that it has a faster response, or you can read from this PROM cell in a very quick way, and it is less expensive. Then the difference between, what is the difference between normal read-only memory and programmable read-only memory? Is in normal ROM, the data is written when it is manufactured. In normal ROM, the data is written when it is manufactured. In PROM, it is manufactured as a blank memory and the data is to be loaded by the user, but it can be loaded only once. Then next is erasable programmable read-only memory. So an erasable programmable read-only memory is a ROM that can be erased and reprogrammed. So if I write a value 1 to the cell, it can be erased, let it can be made as 0. So after making it as 0, it can again erase and make this value as 1. And that facility is not provided in programmable ROM. In programmable ROM, you can write only once. Once you write a 1, you cannot make it to change 0. But in erasable programmable RAM, once you write a value 1 to the cell, it can be erased and reprogrammed. That means it can be made to 0. And after making it 0, it can again erase and make this value 1. So it can be reprogrammed a number of times. Then, so it allows the stored data to be erased and new data to be loaded. So this can be used when memory is being developed so that it can accommodate changes. So you can change a data on a cell several times. Now, this is very similar to ROM. Connection to ground is always made at point P where switch is present. Now, what is the difference? So in programmable ROM, we said at the position P, we are inserting a fuse. So here we are using a special transistor at the point P. In the PROM, we are using fuse at position P, and here we are using a special transistor at point P. So a special transistor is used which has the ability to function either as a normal transistor or as a disabled transistor, which is always turned on. Now, what do you mean by this disabled transistor? It means that a transistor which is always off, so that it is open switch. So here, this is a erasable programmable cell, a single cell. So here we have a transistor. Here we have a transistor, and at position P, we have a special transistor. Okay, when it acts as a normal transistor, it stores a value 0. When the special transistor acts as a normal transistor, it stores a value 0. So when it normal transistor, this acts as a switch. So it means there is a connection between transistor and the ground. So it stores the value 0 when it acts as a normal transistor. So when this special transistor acts as a disabled transistor, that is a transistor which is off. Disabled transistor means the transistor which is off. That means this will act as an open switch and there is no connection between transistor and ground. And where there is no connect, and when there is no connection between transistor and ground, it means that your cell is holding a value 1. Okay, it means in that case, this cell will store a value 1. But in EPROM, the definition says that it can be erased and then again reprogrammed. So that I can erase the contents in this cell and then again reprogram it. Now how it will happen? Or how's that done? In order to erase this erasable programmable ROM, you have to expose this particular chip, not the cell. The whole chip you have to expose to UV light, that is ultraviolet light. So this EPROM package of this whole chip is packed in such a way that there is a little glass window on the top of this particular package, and the UV light of a specified frequency is shined through this window for a specified period of time, and it will erase the whole content of the EPROM chip. So we can erase the contents of EPROM chip by UV light, which dissipate the charges trapped in a transistor memory cell. So this special transistor is act as a disabled transistor, and we are injecting certain charges. So in order to remove the information from this cell, we have to remove those charges so that it is removed by exposing this chip to UV light. So here this erasable programmable ROM is flexible, and the flexibility is there because it is useful during the development phase of digital systems, and it can be erased and reprogrammed many times. Now, what are the disadvantages of erasable programmable ROM? As we say that we can erase the contents. In order to erase the contents, the chip must be physically removed from the circuit, and it has to completely, that means it has to completely physically removed from the circuit for reprogramming. That is one of the disadvantage of erasable programmable ROM. Second is that entire contents are erased from UV light. Means when it is exposed to UV light, not a single cell, the entire chip content is removed when it is exposed to UV light. But in case if we want to remove a particular information, then it is not possible in erasable programmable ROM, because by using UV light, it will erase the contents from whole chip, not from a particular block. Then next one is the electrically erasable programmable ROM, means using electrical signals. Okay, so it is a new version of erasable programmable ROM that we learn now, and this square PROM can be reprogrammed and erased electrically. Means it can be erased by using electrical signals. As name suggests, electrically erasable. That means we can erase it by using electrical signals. So in EPROM, in erasable programmable ROM, the erosion was done by using UV light, and here the programming and also erasing, it is done electrically. So entire chip need not be removed for eraser. Unlike in EPROM, we have to remove the entire chip for the UV light exposure. But in square PROM, there is no need to remove entire chip for eraser, because and also erasing is done electrically. So we can erase cell contents selectively. Means the cell wise you can remove the contents. Not you don't need to remove the contents from entire chip. You can selectively remove the contents from a particular cell and then erase the contents. When they reprogram the content again, the program program the cell again. So the disadvantage of electrically erasable programmable RAM is that it requires a different voltage for erasing something. Writing and reading, for all these you required a different voltage. But the difference between the EPROM and E2PROM is here. Both the programming and erasing is done electrically. Okay. Then the next one is flash memory. Flash memory has similar approach to E2PROM, but here in a flash memory, it is made of a single cell. Since we are using a single transistor in the same area of E2PROM, and you can include more number of cells, so it has higher capacity. But what is the difference between E2PROM and flash memory? In a flash memory, you can read contents of single cell, but you have to write the contents to an entire block of cell. That if you need to erase something, then you have to erase the whole block of cell, and then you have to rewrite it. But in E2PROM, you can read it from a single cell and write to a single cell. But in flash memory, you can read from a single cell, but while writing, you have to write an entire block of cell. But flash memory has higher capacity as compared to E2PROM, and it has low storage cost per bit. That means your flash memories are cheaper than other ROM memories. Then power consumption of flash memory is very low, making it attractive for using equipment that is battery driven. So that's why it is used in handheld computers, cell phone, digital cameras, and MP3 players. These all use flash memory. Then single flash chip does not provide a sufficient storage capacity, so we can make it into larger memory modules by implementing flash cards and flash drives. Now, what is a flash card? Larger memory modules can be implemented in flash cards and flash drive. Now, flash drive means mount flash chips on a small card. A flash card on which you are mounting a small chip, so increasing the memory size, that is flash card. Then a card is simply plugged into a conveniently accessible slot. So in micro SD, in SIM cards, they all are flash cards because they are mounting on a small chip and they are simply plugged into a convenient accessible slot. So your memory cards and your SIM cards, they both have the flash cards. Then variety of sizes of memory, and next one is flash drives. So that is also a way of implementing larger memory. So here are larger modules to replace hard disk drives. So this is actually a flash drives actually used to emulate the hard disk drives, but it is not possible to that extent because storage capacity is lower than the hard disks. Then what are the merits of flash memory? The first merit is that have shorter seek and access time, hence faster response. So if you want to read data from flash memory, it is really quick. Then second one is the low power consumption and insensitive to vibration. That's why it is used in portable devices. Then the demerits of flash memories are, so more than more, look, that is 1,000 times. If you are right, then flash memory will be deteriorate. If you write more than 1,000 times or more than 100k times, your flash memory will be deteriorate. So again, so this is all about the flash drives and flash card. So again, in this lecture, we learn the different types of non-volatile memory, that is ROM and flash. And the ROM memory is again divided into programmable ROM, then erasable programmable ROM, and electrically erasable programmable ROM. And flash memory is divided into two parts, flash cards and flash drives. And here your second unit ends, and from the next lecture we will start unit number 3.